friend of mine actually just reached out recently and said that they wanted to support a hospital that's out of state. How can I get the books there? So they ended up buying a bunch of them to be able to donate to this hospital. So we work regularly with Nicklaus Children's Hospital.
Oh, sure, they're great.
Teaching them next week.
Well, they're a big sponsor for the Junior Orange Bowl. They're their major sponsor.
They do. First of all, the hospital does incredible work.
Yeah.
They do specialized events for their patients there. I think maybe a lot of people don't know this, so it's an important thing to discuss. So when we come into the hospital, we're set up in the lobby, and I'll teach the kids how to draw, and in the whole class, my hand is broadcast behind me. So that's how they watch. It's basically set up on Zoom. It's a live class, but the camera's set up on Zoom, and then the kids are able to watch the drawing. But what Nicklaus does is a lot of these children that are in there, they're in there for long-term treatments and long-term care. It's boring for them, right? Yeah. What is a child going to be doing all day, right? And so what the hospital does is they have people come in for entertainment. They have us come in. Do they have that drawing. Radio? They had a radio show, remember? I don't know. I don't know. They had, what was it called? I can't remember. No, this is like years ago when I was in the Community Foundation. That's how long ago. And I suspect they still have it. But it was some kind of in-hospital radio station that the kids could participate in. Oh. Yeah. What does that mean? I have to ask them about that, because you just made me think about that. So they're just a wonderful hospital. And so I'll see characters walk by in the middle of classes. I'm like, look at this. This is actually really cool. We did a drawing class on May the 4th of Star Wars. Actually, that was just a photo of it. The Baby Yoda drawing, and the hospital, the doctors, that's a picture from the hospital right there. Yeah. The doctors, like everybody was dressed up in Star Wars kind of gear. And let me tell you, because you have an affinity for costumes, just right? Right. That's how we met. We love wearing costumes. I dressed up as Princess Leia during that class. So those buns that she has, I was like, I could get a wig or I could do it myself. And I was like, well, I'm a do-it-yourself kind of gal. They're not easy to do. So I did the buns and did the class, and we were featured a little feature on the news for it too, just drawing Baby Yoda. So the hospital is wonderful.
And one of the things that I find interesting, because I sort of loom in the background of a lot of these classes. I take some of the photos and set things up, but also I get to talk to a lot of the parents, and there is not one single car in the parking lot at Nicklaus Children's Hospital that is not affected by a child in that hospital. Everyone there is there because they care about either their kid or another kid that's there. Exactly. And so I start talking to the parents, and the parents are extremely stressed out as well. And so and I actually ended up speaking. Speak to a lot of the fathers, but I ended up speaking to a father very recently, and we ended up giving him the mandala book because he was so stressed out. He had a child that was there who was very, very sick, and it's a recurrent thing. And he was extremely stressed, but he sat down and he started doing the drawings along with Kat. And you could tell that he was super talented, by the way. And he was doing these classes, and he was using it as his own therapy. He was doing it with his daughter there. But we also gave him the mandala book, and we said, we're going to give you this book, and you sit down whenever you're stressed out. And he looked at me and he goes, I'm really going to use this. Because that type of therapy, when you're in a stressful situation, like what all of these people are going through, is... we need to have more of that. We need to have more empathy, and anything that we can do to help these kids. And Nicklaus Children's they do it right. They do it big every time. Every class that we do there, they just embrace us.
They go all out.
They go all out. It's really
so
really
cool.
amazing what they set up.
It's a great hospital.